This is an animated supplement for Chapter 19, Trostle Farm and Plum Run, from the book Our Fathers at Gettysburg by Kunkel. Having destroyed the Federal position at the Peach Orchard, 3 Confederate brigades now advanced towards Cemetery Ridge, the main Union line. And on the southern end of that line there was a yawning gap, unprotected by any Federal infantry. In addition, acting as somewhat of a free agent, the 21st Mississippi attacked Bigelow's battery, which was defending Trostle Lane at the Trostle Farm. General Meade put the 2nd Corps commander, Hancock, in charge of solving the problem. The Federal units of the 3rd Corps, which had been driven out of the Peach Orchard, were in total disarray and nearly useless, so Hancock had to depend upon his own 2nd Corps, and he had to stretch the 2nd Corps line southward along the ridge to fill the gap where the 3rd Corps should have been. First of all, he ordered the 19th Maine to attack Lang's brigade and protect Weir's guns, which were near Emmitsburg Road. Then he or someone ordered the 19th Massachusetts and 42nd New York to attack Wilcox brigade. These 2 small Federal regiments were veterans, and they took one look at the 4 brigades of Wilcox, decided this was insane, fired off a couple volleys, and headed back to Cemetery Ridge. Meanwhile, Hancock led Willard's brigade farther south on the ridge to plug the gap and deal with Barksdale's brigade. In the meantime, on the southern end of the line, the Federals compensated for their lack of infantry by bringing up as many artillery guns as possible, and these guns were raking the Confederates, especially Barksdale's brigade. Once he was in position on the south end of the line, Willard gave the order for 3 of his regiments to attack Barksdale. The 2 sides clashed in the soggy marsh of Plum Run. Barksdale was soon mortally wounded. Willard was killed. Now, without Barksdale to urge them on, Barksdale's men, already exhausted from the earlier fight at the Peach Orchard and being under fire from 2 or 3 different Federal batteries, could go no farther, and they retreated back towards Cemetery Ridge. On the north end of the line, the 19th Maine and the 6 guns of Weir's battery stopped Lang's small Florida brigade. Lang now retreated, leaving only Wilcox brigade still advancing, plus the 21st Mississippi. Although Barksdale's and Lang's brigades are retreating, Wilcox brigade in the center is still advancing. Desperate to buy time until he can bring up more reinforcements, Hancock orders the lone 1st Minnesota Regiment to attack. So the small 1st Minnesota charges down the slope, confronting 5 Confederate regiments. But once in the brushy marsh of Plum Run, the Minnesotans surprise the Alabamians, momentarily halting Wilcox's advance. But the Confederates quickly rally and devastate the 1st Minnesota, with its survivors lucky to make it back up to Cemetery Ridge. But under blistering artillery fire, Wilcox sees he's out on the field alone. He sends back a courier requesting reinforcements, but there are none. He's forced to retreat. Now only the 21st Mississippi is still attacking, chewing up Watson's battery on Trostle Lane. Finally, the 39th New York, Willard's reserve regiment back on Cemetery Ridge, charges the 21st Mississippi. After a sharp fight, the Mississippians are forced to retreat, giving up not only Watson's guns, but also the 4 guns they had captured from Bigelow's battery. The Federal line on Cemetery Ridge has held. For much more on this battle, including descriptions by the soldiers involved, as well as photos, illustrations, and Google links to the actual battlefield locations, please refer to this book.